NetTracker. If you need to create a new QuickBooks file and set up some opening balances and your VAT is not in line with your financial year end, this little video may help. So first of all, I'm in my QuickBooks company file, I'm looking at my trial balance and it's completely blank. In this scenario, the financial year end of the business I want to put into QuickBooks is December, but the VAT quarter ends are not in line. The last VAT filed to the end of November, and the liability was outstanding still at the end of December, which was 1,650. This information for the last month needs to be put into QuickBooks. In this example, we are calculating VAT on an accrual basis, so I'm not interested whether the invoices and the bills are unpaid or paid. All I want to look at are the actual transactions and the summary total, so I can see I've got my total costs and VAT, I've got my total income plus VAT, and I've also summarised this now by my standard purchases, exempt, what the VAT element is. And the same for my sales, in this case it's all VAT. Before I make my first adjustment, let's look at the VAT centre. I can see I've got one single open return which is running from the 1st of December 2019 to February 2020, and it is completely blank. Okay, so let's take a look at the journal that I have just created. I've put every single line entry to retained earnings. The sales I am crediting, and I'm using the appropriate VAT code for sales. The purchases I am debiting, and I'm using the appropriate VAT codes for purchases, standard and exempt. And the adjusting line I'm again putting to retained earnings, but I'm not using a VAT code because I don't want that line to appear on my VAT return. For the VAT filed to the last quarter but not yet paid as at the end of the financial year, that liability sits within my VAT suspense account, and I've credited that, and the debit also I've put to retained earnings. The two journal entries have left me with the correct VAT liabilities and the balance currently in my retained earnings. If I take a look at the VAT return after the journal entries have been made, I can see that my net sales agree back to my spreadsheet with the VAT at 640, and my net purchases agree back to my spreadsheet 746 with my inputs of 138. Don't forget, for your remaining opening balances, you can use your tools for importing data such as your invoices for your outstanding customers, your bills for your outstanding suppliers, and you can actually import your journal entries for anything that's left. This just leaves me to say thanks for watching and stay safe. This video is sponsored by NetTracker, where fixed assets are made easy, very easy.